I want to clarify and I want to clear up this. I want to make this video because I don't want people coming into my inbox and crying and complaining to me and saying, oh, how can we have a society, the type of society you talk about in the current state of things right now? I don't want to hear this question because if I get this question, I'm going to, in my inbox on my webpage, I'm going to direct you to this video because I don't like when people actually not fully understand where I'm coming from. So I have to make this video so I can try to reduce this instance so this situation doesn't happen, or at least it won't happen on paper. Sorry about that. Anyways, now I understand that right now in the current state, if you take a look at humanity right now and in the current state it's in right now, it's in a very deplorable, sick state right now. You're talking about a race. Essentially, it's like a race of spiritually lost children who have been, stripped away from who they are from within. They have to rediscover their inner divine essence, who they really are and where they come from, which requires, like I said, meditation, quiet contemplation, those things. And much more, but this video is not about that. This video is just about me knowing what's up. Knowing that we live in a world where people need to actually, as a collective, align their thoughts, their beliefs, and their actions to what they want. Many people say they want change in this world, but they have either thoughts or beliefs or both, or maybe thoughts, beliefs, and actions that contradict what they want. You cannot get what you want if you actually have something that's contradicting. You say you want a world that's peaceful, but many people actually support institutions that are nothing but violence, or instigate violence. Like I say, you want a society that is actually not violent, then you need to actually find bottom-up solutions to why we live in a violent society in the first place. Many people think that all we have to do is just put a Band-Aid on it. Constantly, put a Band-Aid on it. Got a problem? Put a Band-Aid on it. People only care about solution. Let me rephrase that. People only care about putting bandages on instead of just completely healing it. Symptoms. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was about to say. People only care about the symptoms to a problem. They want to get rid of the symptoms, but they don't understand that it's a lot wiser to get rid of the cause of the symptoms in the long run. So that way, not only the symptoms will completely go away, it won't come back. Especially when you find out what caused the symptom so you can actually avoid it in the future. Like I said, I do get that we need to actually find a way as a collective people need to find a way as a collective to actually get their shit together. Because as far as I'm concerned, a lot of people think somehow that we're going to do this, make it with the current state of the world. How people actually, with their current beliefs, their current attitudes, and the actions they take every day, they somehow think we're going to do this. Not understanding that we need to completely rethink and re-question this system. That's what we need to do. And even then, I still talk about this because of the fact that in reality, objective reality, we need to be in a society where the only law that people should be living under is universal law. And if you want to know what that is, like I said, go to my website. My blog I'm going to link it there, link it in the description. Go to, in the black, there's actually something called Universal Law and the Critical Importance of It. Read it. And the videos at the bottom, watch those as well. If you want a full description of what you need to know when it comes to what universal law is and all that. The point is that the only way we're going to get through this is people stop trying to come up with the same old solutions, the same uncreative, unimaginative solutions that are keeping us in the same spot. People want to actually keep doing the same things over and over again, or just want to actually just do a tweaked version of it. Just a small variant, but it's the same old shit. We're only going to actually find a better solution if we actually find a solution that's based in a higher vibration and higher consciousness. Because right now, I am not impressed with what a lot of people propose, especially those who actually believe in the religion, in the religious given to them by politics. Because politics, to me, and political ideology is just another religion. It's just more the biggest problem with these ideologies that are political is that they're based in philosophical materialism. It's just amidst the spiritual reality in front of us. The fact that there's like I said, a lot of them. What it comes down to, a lot of the things that are going on in this world, comes down to is the fact that it's a spiritual situation we're going through right now. And a lot of people are going to scoff at it, especially all the atheists out there and all the materialists, all the clowns out there. They're going to scoff at it, but you know what? I don't care. I mean, you don't have to listen to this video. If you disagree with it, then just click off. You know what? They invented a back button for a reason on your web browser. So click that back button. It's not there for decoration. I don't care if you disagree. This is not for people who disagree. These are people out there who are actually thinking or who are on the fence about what's going on and have an open mind and just want to reconsider. That's what this video is about. Is for. I don't care about people who actually disagree with this video. If you disagree with the video, well, yeah, go suck a lemon too. You know, I don't care about you too. Now move along. Anyways, like I said, it's just that I'm just sick and tired of how people actually want solutions to problems, but the funny thing, but it's just people just want the same old shit. That's what I'm trying to get at. And I understand that, and like I said, I know that unfortunately we're not going to get anywhere until humanity changes the way it thinks and until it raises its consciousness. Because right now humanity is in a place where they can't make that change because their thoughts, their beliefs, and their actions are in contradiction. They support institutions of violence, and they support ideologies, and they have beliefs that are based in and thoughts that actually violate universal law and actually violate the simple concept of do not harm. That's what it really comes down to. And I'm having a very hard time doing this video because of the fact that it's just have a hard time putting my words together. But I just need to do this video just to quickly clarify that I understand that in the current state of things right now that it can't get done. And it's not and that's because humanity as a collective don't want that. But it still doesn't change the fact that I'm going to still speak about the fact that we need to abolish these institutions that are based in violence and corrosion. It's that simple. And the biggest problem with the solutions that a lot of people control that I want to add is the fact that they're all based in control, which means that more violence has to be used. And when I'm talking about violence, I'm talking about the use of offensive force in a non-provoked way. I mean, violence as a way of trying to force people into doing something versus using self-defensive force as a way to defend yourself against those who will violate your natural rights and your free will. I'm not talking about that. When I'm talking about violence, I'm talking about people trying to cause other people harm in the name of the common good, this collectivist nonsense that people buy into. They think it's okay to steal and take from others if they're doing it for the common good. They think it's okay if an institution that claims that they're there to protect you they think it's okay if they're there to protect you, that they can do whatever the hell they want when it comes to that. It's funny because if a group of people off the streets did the same thing, then a lot of people are going to, like I said, protest it and cry about it. That's the biggest problem I have with a lot of the solutions what people propose. For example, let's take a look at let's just do something really fast. For example, crime. For example, they think that the solution to crime is longer prison sentences, stiffer penalties, harsher punishments. No, how about we actually go to the root cause of what's causing all the crime in society? We need to take a look at society as a whole. Especially, we need to take a look at how kids are being raised. For example, because of the fact they're not holistically raised growing up. They're raised into, and I blame it on the fact they're mostly raised into a materialist worldview, or they're raised in a fear-based environment, or through what I call fear-based parenting, when they're told to be good, or else I'm going to get the belt, or something like that. It's just that, and it doesn't help that a lot of people who have kids are still kids themselves, mentally and emotionally. And there's a lot of young adults out there who still hadn't grown up, and they're saying they're having kids, which is actually rather troubling. That's why I keep saying to myself, wow, people shouldn't be having children if they don't have their shit together. And there's a lot of people who have children, and their lives are a train wreck. And they need to work on themselves mentally, and maybe even they need to mentally work on themselves. What I'm trying to say is that we need to rethink how children are raised. how people are raised coming up in society. Take a look at what society's values are. We live in a society where what people value and respect the most is power, money, and like I said, power and money. In this idea of controlling other people. And that's another problem with a lot of these solutions people propose to fix problems like inequality, crime, all that stuff. They think it's more control and more and it's just more control. And the fact that if you try to resist the ethics of these people who want to do these things for the common good, they're going to physically try to harm you or try to kidnap you, remove you from your property, and throw you in a cage. That's what they're going to do. That's the biggest problem I have with a lot of these solutions people propose, which is why I'm not on board with them. And I never will be ever again. Because, like I said, when I was younger, I was one of these young individuals who actually was all for that. I've been there before, and I'm not going back because of the fact that I would be a hypocritical fool if I went back. I'm never going to support an institution that does this to people. I wouldn't physically do this to somebody, not that. And as a result, I don't support an institution that does that. Most of these institutions, like I said, are based in like I said, using violence to solve all their problems in the name of the common good. I don't buy into it, and there's nothing anyone's going to do about that. You cannot convince me. And don't even try, because I know a lot of people got the ego out there. They just want to think, oh, I'm going to convince that guy. Good luck, because because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to block you in my email. I don't need to hear it because I've heard it all before. I hear it all the time. Because statists and other people who believe in institutions of violence and authority, these people who believe in these things, there are in abundance. There are billions of them. There's billions of people just like them. So why are you're getting at me? Because of the fact that I'm such a threat to you? I'm sorry about that. I just went off. What I'm trying to get at is that just because I know society is in a really bad state where they're getting what they deserve, they don't know how to use their free will responsibility, and as a result, they get controlled. I get that, but that doesn't mean I'm going to support these institutions. That doesn't mean. I mean, that's the thing about it. Or the fact that people also justify wanting to meet these institutions because they're thinking, who's going to protect us? I'm sorry, but protection this is all about self-ownership. You got to be personally responsible for your protection, and everybody needs to be collectively responsible for when it comes to protection. But no, it's funny how people are so cowardly when it comes to this. Or they're thinking, oh, I would never hurt an individual. Yet these are the same people who will call 911 in a heartbeat and have someone else potentially do that, which is kind of funny. You say you don't want to harm this one person that's trying to break into your house because you just don't have the courage to do it, or you just thinking, oh, I don't want to hurt another person. But you have no problems dialing 911 and getting someone else to do it for you. Yeah, take the guilt off. Yeah, because you got to wash your hands of that quote unquote guilt. And also, I bet there's a lot of people out there thinking, oh, this guy's just talking it up, because if he was in a situation where he needs help and he's surrounded by people who are coming at him, then he's probably actually gonna go back on his words. If he was, no, you know what? I don't care. I'd rather be free. I'd rather live in a world where I'd rather actually have freedom over security and over security. I'm talking about if that security actually comes with being controlled and owned by somebody. I take the scary freedom. I don't really care if I have to actually live in an environment where I'm personally responsible for my protection. Look, I don't mind defending myself. You're talking to someone who's essentially like a warrior who fights for what he has to fight for, what's right in this world. I'm willing to physically defend myself. I have no problems doing it. I'm not scared of doing it. I'm itching to get my hands in the pool, essentially. That's more right up my alley. I'm a fighter. I'm not at heart, I'm not some intellectual. I'm a fighter. So I have no problems doing that if I had to. If I was in a situation where I had to physically defend myself. You think I'm scared? No. And even if it means me physically dying, I don't care. I don't care. Even if life, doesn't continue after death, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'd rather be a free than be a slave. I'm not gonna try to. I'd rather be free and dead than a slave and controlled and protected. Or more so free. I'd rather be free. I mean, that sounds like I said something really quotable, but I messed up the quote. What I'm trying to say is, I'd rather be free. I'd rather be free in having to die fighting for our freedom than protected if it means being controlled by someone else. Just to clear that up, I'd rather take that over anything. I'd rather take that. It might sound radical to some people. That's just me. I'm just now running my mouth now, but what I'm trying to get at is that I get it. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to sit here and say that I accept these institutions. I don't. I honestly just look at the world. I'm saying the world's getting what it deserves. But it won't change the fact that I'm going to tell how it is. So if anyone got a problem with it, like I said, go eat a lemon. And the rind too, while you're at it.